our friend Mike Montecalvo and many others in the state of Rhode Island are big Yankee fans. And you know what? Growing up, Mark, you and I were both Red Sox fans.
You hate when I lead with the Yankees. Can't lead with the Yankees, Mark. It's a Red Sox town.
They were the big, bad Yankees, 27 championships. George Steinbrenner, big, bad, big spending Yankees. You feared them. They won every year, went to the playoffs every year. And so this year, they're in last place right now. If they don't go to the playoffs this year, they didn't go 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Last year, they lost in the wild card. If they don't go to the playoffs this year, it'll be one playoff game, that being a wild card game, in 4 years for the New York Yankees. So our question is, have the Yankees fallen off since Big George Steinbrenner passed on?
Absolutely they have. Absolutely. And I'm not one bit surprised. This is what happens. Have you checked in on the Los Angeles Lakers recently?
The buses.
Dr. Jerry Buss passes. He's got the kids running the show. Jim Buss is a disaster. Have you ever seen Jeannie Buss? I've seen her do interviews. I'm listening to her talk. I don't know what to say. Good luck, LA. I know they have the number 2 overall pick. Mitch Kapchak seems capable, but this situation is something we've seen many times, and the Lakers is a perfect example. And to tell you the truth, Jonathan Kraft's been around, but I'm worried when Bob Kraft goes because that man is a genius. And there's no, those guys don't just, pop up every day.
But let's talk about it from a baseball. I think, coming from the top, the edict, we need to win now, spend money, that goes back to Steinbrenner. But Cashman's a smart guy. They still have the money. Is it just the players? They're getting too old? Is it the farm system? When you look at their roster, what are you seeing?
Well, yeah, they've always had, I feel like, an older roster. But I think a lot of it does go back to the boss. He was the boss. And he put that pressure on the organization. They haven't hit on some of those free agents. I mean, I know they made that big haul, Jacoby Ellsbury, Brian McCann, those guys, Carlos Beltran, they're not going to carry you now. They're too old.
Also, the run in the 90s and early 2000s, they had the perfect blend of guys that came up the system, like Mariano and Jeter, and guys who they got via free agency. Bernie came up through the system, Posada, right? And then they would sprinkle in the overpaid, high-priced guys that sometimes worked out, sometimes didn't. The Clemenses, the Randy Johnsons, the Kevin Browns. So now they don't have the guys coming up through the system, complemented with the high-priced guys. So it's kind of...
And make no mistake about it, the ownership and the ownership situation, and not just in baseball, obviously in all sports, is vital.
Important.
And, when the father who was a genius is no longer in that position and it's left up to the kids, not everyone can be King Griffey Jr.
Needs to bring Billy Martin back as
or Tim White.
Tim White.